I can hear the birds chirp again. I enjoy the smell of fresh air. I can finally sleep again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a new dawn in Edmonton, and the page, it's been turned, and we are in a new dawn here, Tyler. I am fired up. I feel like a completely different team and fan base, but hello and welcome to Oilers Nation's Pregaming with BORDZY, presented by Sherwood Ford, where we are live from the Sports Closet studio, where the first YouTube comment of the day is, he's back. The second comment, Tyler, was hashtag BORDZY Bros. The third comment was hashtag BORDZY Bros. And the fourth,
it's catching on.
The fourth comment was, I'd let BORDZY coach my little league team. I'm going to decline that one. I do make great orange slices, but no, I'm not really about that.
You don't think me and you could run like a mean little league baseball team?
Oh, dude, they'd be top of the charts. We'd be provincial champs. Are you kidding me? I'd have us broadcasting on Sportsnet in no time. But you probably could tell by the guy next to me. He's always in this room. It's Tyler Yaremchuk. Tyler, it's been a while. It's been a couple hours without it, but it's been a couple days since our last Oilers game and our last victory. So how have you been handling your little victory gritty parade probably around this time?
Yeah, I mean, it's just as I sit here and I talk about, or I listen to you talk about how excited you are. If they would have lost that Heritage Classic, man, it would have been a really, really miserable 3 days at Nation HQ. Like, thank God they won. It's done so much to calm the fan base down, but also we were getting the Woody F-bombs, the Nurse F-bombs, Draisaitl spitting back at reporters. And now the team's smiling on the ice. They had their Halloween party. They're still very bad in terms of their record. 2-5-1 is in no way, shape, or form acceptable. But right now, it feels like a million bricks have been taken off their shoulders.
I said it's Stella getting her groove back. It's Austin Powers getting his mojo back. The vibes are incredibly high after Sunday. And like you said, the Oilers had their Halloween party. Connor McDavid got dental work. And Sam Gagner, the Prince, has returned to the Edmonton Oilers lineup. He will be making his debut tonight, Tyler. I am so excited to see 89 out there. I know he's not going to play a ton. I know that our expectations are down here. But it is literally, like you pointed out earlier today, just seeing that 89 back there out on the ice, I am very excited.
Yeah, like, is there any sort of guarantee that he's going to be a more impactful player than Adam Ernie?
Nope, no
Sadly,
guarantee.
no, because we kind of know what Sam Gagner is at this point in his career. But from a fan base perspective, it will be infinitely better to sit and watch number 89 play 6-7 minutes a night than it was to watch Adam Ernie play 4 or 5 minutes a night. He can help you on the PK. Adam Ernie wasn't helping you on the PK. He can help you on your second power play unit. Ernie wasn't helping you on your second power play unit. And this dude is loved in the room. Not that Ernie wasn't liked in the room, but Sam Gagner is going to Muskoka with Connor and Leon and spending summers at the cottages with the boys. Like, he's going to give this locker room a bit of a boost. So even if there is no offensive production or anything like that, switching Ernie for Gagner is a good move.
Yeah, I think it's a vibe thing. Like you just said, he's out there in Muskoka. They clearly love him. He was leading stretches at practice. I believe not today, but yesterday. So you know the boys got him back in. I saw the video of him coming in the locker room, carrying his bag over his shoulder. Just very, very, very excited for it.
Him and Ryan McLeod next to each other. Like, oh, man, it helps with the vibe so much. So I'm excited for it. We'll dig into the lines and all of that in a little bit. But man, if he scores today, the roof is coming off that place.
We'll touch on it a bit later, but we did bring up today, I mean, if he's not going to play a ton of minutes, this game went to a shootout, and Woody gave Gagner the shoulder tap on the bench.
He would too.
Holy shit, that place would explode. It would be awesome. I like the comment from the real Tyler Mulick in here. I'm so bored at work. Glad I get to enjoy 8 hours of daily Oilers Nation content.
Yeah,
what a big content day.
If you count Gregor in it, I mean, you're sitting there going 4 hours of Gregor, an hour of ONE, Wanye's World, real life, that puts you up to 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be 8. Oilers Nation After Dark brings you up to 9. You can just keep the YouTube running all day.
Damn right. And I think Wanye's World should probably be live now. So I joined for the first time today. I highly recommend you go give it a listen. Those guys are absolutely hilarious. I think I spent the whole thing covering up the mic because I was giggling so much. It was a really good time. Patrick, you are also here today joining with us. I saw some people show no Gavin. He's not going to be with us tonight. He's a little busy. But Pat, I've got you with me.
Yep, I'll be here later on for the betting segment. I'll be trying to win some money with you, but we'll see, I guess.
That's right. So it's a big night in the NHL tonight. I believe, if I counted correctly, it's 12 games on the NHL schedule. So buckle up, baby, because I made a fair bit of coin on Bordzy's bankroll on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I am ready to spray and pray on that Betway board right now. But kind of, I guess, catching up with the NHL, maybe not today, but the last couple of days. So there's been several stories in the NHL. The Ottawa Senators are an absolute disaster, tire fire. I don't even know what you want to call it right now.
I mean, it's just, it's what's that old thing where it's like, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. But in a weird way, like it's Michael Andlauer, their new owner. It's not his fault. I mean, he just bought the team. It's not his fault. Gary Bettman in the league didn't tell him all of this was going on and being investigated while he was in the process of buying the team. And now he's being stuck with the punishments. And like losing Shane Pinto for 41 games, granted, I know he wasn't signed, but like that is one of the biggest suspensions in NHL history. Being docked a first-round pick in one of the next 3 drafts, the Blackhawks covered up sexual abuse. And they got fined like $2.5 million. They didn't even.
That's where my brain is.
And if you're sitting there being like,
this.
well, $2.5 million, a first round pick to an NHL team is worth way more than $2.5 million. Way more. So I can't believe that. Tyler Mulick says he loves the comments from Andlauer. I love that he just straight up called out Gary and the league and the process and all of that. It was great to see.
He was very, why did this take so long? It makes no, when the reporter asked him, he's like, I don't know. Like, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah.
It was nice to see an owner being relatable and real for once.
Yeah. And the interesting thing with Andlauer is he's not a guy who just got let into the league. Like he's been around the NHL for a handful of years. He was a part minority owner or whatever with the Montreal Canadiens. And then it morphed into him buying the Senators. But like, he's been around the table at Board of Governors meetings. So I like that he had a bit of a voice with all this.
Yep. Continue with the league. Flames absolutely on fire. Not in a good way, in a bad way. Forgive my pun. I like seeing that Austin Matthews goal train has slowly started to slow down a little bit. I like that. Nick Alberga needs a little shot in the arm every once in a while. But I wanted to ask you, where's your confidence level for Canadian teams so far right now? Because I'm confident, I think, in the Canucks. A little, but right, I'm hesitant.
Yeah.
I'm confident in the Leafs. And I think I'm confident in the Oilers.
If I had to power rank, like, chances of, I don't know, winning a Stanley Cup's tough because I really only think there's 2 in Canada that have a chance of winning a Stanley Cup. But like power ranking their chances of being a playoff team, let's say, the Leafs are without a doubt number 1 right now. They look very, very good once again. Goaltending is shaky, but I mean, hey, goaltending is shaky in Edmonton as well. I still think Edmonton's number 2, even though Vancouver's off to this crazy hot start. Like the Canucks, granted, the shooting percentage is dropping, but they're still shooting 12% this year. Like, that number is going to come down. The unsustainable shooting percentage, the really high PDO, first in the league in PDO. And if people don't know, that's like a very general measurement of luck at 5-on-5. You'll always kind of end up right back at an even 1. Their PDO sky high, highest in the league. I think the Canucks will come back down to earth. So if I was ranking the Canadian teams, Toronto 1, Edmonton 2, it probably still just is Vancouver at 3 by default. Winnipeg, I actually think would be a pretty close 4. I like their chances of turning it around. Ottawa 5, Calgary 6.
And then the Habs.
Yeah. Even though the Habs are ahead of a number of teams, including the Oilers right now, they're off to a great start. I just think at some point that's going to come crashing down.
I see Lance Cannon's here, said, I miss Aaron's windbreaker. Don't worry, Lance. It's right here. I'm ready for the weather and whatever comes my way.
I just wasn't going to let you wear Pat's gear on the air.
My outfit today was a large topic of conversation, and we're going to continue that topic of conversation because I just saw Tyler Mulick was bringing it up in here. Yes, Tyler, and this hats. Tyler are wearing some new hats that shout out to a buddy of mine, Jared Smith. He makes these hats. I'll give you a shout. I'll give you a
Unparalleled is the brand? Unparalleled headwear. They're sharp. They're like Edmonton upside down. It's a neat little piece of gear. I dig it. It fits nice. Shout out to your buddy Jared for hooking
They're
us
very
up
nice. So if you want one, hey, DM me or go check them out online. You could. Oh, I just knocked something.
That's
out.
just the speaker.
There we go. We didn't need that. But yeah, come check them out. They're great hats. They come in white. They come in blue. They look sick with a jersey hoodie combo. It's the only reason I got this hat.
I'll be rocking one at the game tonight. I'll be in attendance.
That's right, because you're gonna be there, Tyler.
Yeah. Lance is in. Would you call Vancouver a paper tiger?
I
would call the Canucks a paper tiger to tie it back to our ON conversation today. Like Thatcher Demko is very, very good, but even his high danger save percentage right now is unsustainable. The Canucks are giving up a lot of quality looks. Like at some point, I think they will go on a nasty losing streak. The thing that's going to work in the Canucks' favor is one, they've built themselves up a nice little bank of wins here. Wins in October count just as much as wins is at the end of the season. They're 6-2-1. That's good. Seattle looks like shit. Calgary looks like shit. And Anaheim, I don't think is sustainable either. So like Edmonton, Vegas, LA are going to be 3 playoff teams. Colorado, Dallas, and probably still Minnesota are going to be 3. Out of those 2 spots, I think Vancouver's put themselves in a really good position here to take one of them.
Yep, I do too. And just the eye test for me, it's the Rick Tocchet style of play. They seem to just, their give a shit meter is up. There seems to be up this
they're
year.
skating hard. I'll give them that.
Quinn Hughes is an absolute stud, but hey, we're not here to talk about the Vancouver Canucks. Get them out of here. We don't need that. So it's time to get into the Sherwood Ford Giant storyline. And for me, it's crazy what one game can do. But Tyler, is this the TSN turning point of the season for the Edmonton Oilers?
I think it really will be. Man, it's just so hard to ignore how good they feel right now. And I'm trying to like sit there and maybe poke holes in it. Like winning every night in the NHL is very tough, but you go look at this Oilers schedule and it's very easy to get excited right now. One, they played great against Calgary. That wasn't like a, Stuart Skinner stands on his head and steals you one kind of victory. It was they went and dominated that. And Calgary was lucky. Calgary was lucky it was only 5-2 or whatever. And now you get Dallas playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, second of back-to-backs on a long road trip here, starting their backup. You got to love their chances. I know backups are kryptonite. But then you get Nashville at home on Saturday. You match up very well against them. And then you go Vancouver, San Jose, Seattle, Islanders, and then Seattle again. By the 18th of November, when you finally take on another elite team in Tampa Bay, you're going to play 7 games before then, and all 7 are very winnable. I like their chances. I know this clip was making the rounds on Twitter today of me saying this, but I like their chances of flipping the record, going 5-2 and being 500 by the middle of the month.
Yep, I do too, to be honest. And I know it's the Kool-Aid, but I feel like the Kool-Aid is just right for us. So we can get into the Oilers lineup report in just a second, but it is presented by our new friends at Sherwood Ford Power Sports and Marine. Pat, I think I got a little video of this bad boy here too. So they used to be known as Free Spirit Marine and Power Sports since 1985, but they're teaming up with the good people of Sherwood Ford and Sherwood Park to relocate in the heart of the city right there, right by Millennium Place. You see it on your screen right there. It's got a brand new state-of-the-art facility, a sick all-black exterior. I love the look of that building. I keep driving past it, and it looks just cool. I keep wondering what's in there, and then I go, oh, wait.
I'm trying to figure out where the 91,000-liter test pool is myself.
Buddy, we're going to get to the bottom of that. So like he just said, it's been a large topic on ONE is how much water we can physically drink, but they have a 91,000-liter test pool to service boats in drive-through service, so you never have to unload your own boat. That's sick because nobody ever likes doing that. They'll be selling fishing boats. They'll be selling pontoon boats, ATVs, side-by-sides, and motorcycles. Sherwood Ford, Power Sports, and Marine. It'll be opening in February 24 on Lakeland Drive. If you're not from Sherwood Park, you don't know where that is, hey, hit me up. I'll let you know. I'll guide you where it is. So there it is. Let's take a peek, Patrick, at the Edmonton Oilers projected lineup for this evening. And I think, as we all know, the top line, it's going to be Leon Draisaitl with Connor McDavid and Warren Foegele. We love that top line. I love seeing 97 and 29 together. And that, for me, Tyler, that's a product of other guys on the lineup producing the second line, to be more specific. Yeah. Once you see a guy like Evander Kane play very well and can drive his own line, that's the trickle-down effect you get. But as we continue down, it's Evander Kane with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Third line of Dylan Holloway, Ryan McLeod, and Connor Brown. Tyler, is Connor Brown still on the team? He has not been waived yet?
Yeah, he's not been waived, despite some fans' best attempts to try and make that happen or will it into existence.
We'll get into that in just a second. And then the name that we all see there, it doesn't have a number, but Sam Gagner is back in the Oilers lineup. We expect them to go 11-7 tonight. I think they have to by necessity.
Yep,
I don't think they physically have another option with Derek Ryan. Then we look at the D-core with Darnell Nurse, Cody Ceci, Matthias Ekholm, and Philip Broberg. and Brett Kulak, Evan Bouchard, with Vinny Desharnais rotating in wherever he seems to fit.
I'm really interested to see what Woody kind of does with those D pairings, because so they moved Bouchard off for that one game, at least in terms of what they were doing in the skates. And then he still played 20 minutes last night that night against the Rangers, and still played a ton with Matthias Ekholm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see how they divvy up the minutes here. Like, Bouchard was skating with Ekholm again, so I expect them to start on a pairing, but I don't hate the idea of giving Broberg a little bit more leash. I think he's been good this year. I think he's at a spot where you can kind of start to push his minutes a little bit and push him up against some better competition. So I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of this, Ekholm and Broberg, but I'm expecting that it's going to be a lot of Bush and Ekholm tonight.
Yeah, I could see that happening. But as we pointed out earlier today, if you didn't see the Halloween costumes, Broberg and Ekholm, my two sexy Swedes that I keep saying, they dressed up with their wives and wife and girlfriend, I think, as ABBA. So it's pretty dope to see them. Hey, you got to spend all this time together as a pairing, and you willingly want to spend extra time together, dressing up together to go out. That's nothing but a good sign for me.
I just love the idea of Ekholm mentoring Broberg to make him Ekholm 2.0.
That's all I want.
If he could be that,
if he grows a beard, oh baby, it is all over right there. But continuing on with the forward pairings there, it's Dry, McD, and Fogs again on the top line. I feel like Warren Foegele, as we all know, he isn't necessarily a top line guy, but I'm going to ride the hot hand for as long as I physically can. I'm going to milk this Foegele cow for really all it's worth. Hey, maybe we'll even trade him at the deadline when he's been used and abused. That's been an option we've thought about. Yeah. But I'm like what I'm seeing from Warren Foegele so far this season. What do you think of him still on the top line?
He's been the most consistent 5-on-5 forward this season, and he's been the most productive 5-on-5 forward this season. Contract year Foegele is getting it done. We talked about this all summer, the idea that, the pucks finally start going in a little bit for him, and they certainly are right now. He's not a top line winger, but he's on a heater right now. He's got some skill.
Could have fooled me.
He skates hard, and he plays with some physicality. Like, he fits in really nicely on this McDavid and Draisaitl line, and also I don't hate the idea that it opens you up to the possibility of cycling Connor Brown up there a little bit more. I think he's starting to play some better hockey. The Oilers gave Connor Brown some shifts with both Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid in the last game. So keeping that spot open next to McDavid and Draisaitl, not having someone who's just locked in for the entire game, although they did play 9:46 together in the Heritage Classic. I like that. But I also like the point you made when you first went through the lines. Keeping McDavid and Draisaitl together is a product of that second line being really damn good against Calgary. Shots when they were on the ice, 10-2. Goals, 2-0. Evander Kane was mixing it up. There weren't mistakes in the D zone. Like, all of that stuff. They played an awesome game, and if they can keep that rolling, it's a revelation for Jay Woodcroft, because then you can go nuclear all the time.
It really, as I said, it's Evander Kane for me. He's the ultimate X factor on this team. He's the driving factor of that line. When he's going, everybody else is going. It's the trickle-down effect. And as we said, you got to pair up your top boys there. But I love that they're not messing with anything. It's keeping Evander Kane, Nuge, and Hyman. That is such a sick second line. Like, that can hit you from all angles. We've talked about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins maybe needing to drive play for more of the center of the ice. But, hey, when you got those two big dogs on your wings, anything's possible, and I love their chemistry together.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I really like the look there. The only thing, I talked about this for the last couple of days on ONE, the idea of maybe you just play McLeod with like Ryan and Gagne, and you keep Brown and Holloway fully open as the extra set of wingers and cycle them through with some skill.
I don't hate that idea.
I don't hate it either, but I also understand the logic of doing this, because Derek Ryan can play a little bit down the middle, even though he's not all that fast. That means you can really put any forward down on that bottom line. You could give Hyman a couple of shifts, give Nuge, McDavid, Ryan Draisaitl. Everyone can kind of get worked in to the mix there a little bit. So I don't hate the way Jay Woodcroft's done this up. I like that he's keeping the top six together, and that's probably more important. So really no complaints.
Yep, I'm okay with keeping I know this third line has been a large topic of conversation for Oiler fans because they've yet to produce. But for me, they've been passing the eye test. They've been putting in good work, hard forechecks, cycling the puck. So I do want to keep those three together and just pray to God that they're going to see one, squeak in a greasy one, floodgates open, and now you've got a top nine that can really perform and do everything you want them to do.
I told Jay today when on our pregame version of Oilers Nation,
the pregame of pregame?
The pregame of the pregame. The Oilers have potential to have depth. Right now, it doesn't look like they have depth because no one outside of the guys on the top 6 of the lineup have scored a goal yet. Yes, can't argue that fact. But that bottom 6 has pieces that can be way better than they are.
Preach.
And if Connor Brown starts going and you can maybe move him back up to the top line and then Fogle comes back down and maybe he keeps producing, like you can start to see the makings of how they could have a really, 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 really damn good top 9.
Yep, I see Mitchell in here said Connor Brown will have 1 goal and 1 assist tonight. Dude, I would love that. I know Tyler's been getting it for all angles, talking about some things so far this week about Connor Brown, about getting waived. I'm not waiving Connor Brown here. I'll take some brunt of this right now. I'm not going to call names, but there's no way in hell that I am waiving Connor Brown this quick into the season. I know he hasn't produced. I know it hasn't been what we all thought. Hey, maybe we were the ones that were wrong all summer, projecting him to score 25, 30 goals. Yeah. Also, he still could get 20. We keep saying it. He's coming off of a major knee injury. Give him time. And I think I've seen enough from Connor Brown in the last couple of games to believe there's going to be improvement. And once the floodgates are open, like I just said, he'll start getting some points in there. Lay off my guy, Yaremchuk over here, okay? Man's got to talk for a living.
Well, it's just like, it's so infuriating because it's one of those things that like, it's obviously not going to happen, but people are using it as an opportunity to be like, the Oilers are so dumb for not waiving Connor Brown. Like it's this big, obvious thing that you could do. And the NHL is a business. There was a handshake agreement made here. The only way you were getting Connor Brown, or never mind just Connor Brown, the only way you were getting any player of quality was if they were at a $775K cap at this year. The only guy you could sign to that was, I guess, Max Pacioretty or Connor Brown. Those are the only 2 guys. Okay, Connor Brown was the only one taking this deal because of his relationship with McDavid. So he takes a sweetheart deal. You want to screw him out of his end of the bargain after Connor McDavid went to dinner to convince him to sign this sweetheart contract. You want to piss both of them off, piss off the locker room.
Before the season's even really started.
And people keep going, oh, but the Oilers gave themselves this option. That's why they set it at 10 games. That is absolutely not why they set it at 10 games. They did that because it's the lowest, really the lowest possible threshold to ensure Connor Brown gets his money. This was not about trialing out Connor Brown coming off a knee injury. He had other offers for guaranteed money. He could have gotten a 2 or 3 year deal with a lot of guaranteed money on it. He took this chance to help the Oilers. You do not turn around, screw him over. Like, this wasn't a 10-game trial. This bonus was in place to make sure he still ended up getting fair market value for his services.
Yep, I couldn't agree more, Tyler. It's frustrating to even get into. I had one of my buddies today texting me, be like, I saw that Yaremchuk clip. And I'm just like, man, it would burn bridges for every free agent to ever want to come here again. Well, it would piss off Connor McDavid. I don't think our team gets better if you waive Connor Brown all of a sudden. I don't.
And Tyler Mulick says, please, for the love of God, stop saying he took a discount. I know he had 2 and 3 year deals on the table. He could have gotten $9 million in his pocket this offseason. He took 1 year, $4 million to play in Edmonton, and he took it on this kind of a deal because it was a 1 year, $4 million deal. He left $5 million on the table. And I know he could make more if he pops and has a good year and signs another long-term deal, but it's a discount because he left $5 million guaranteed money on the table.
Yep, it's very true. Rusty in here says, people who want to waive Connor Brown are the same people who will complain about something when we win the cup this summer.
Oh, the Oilers will win the cup, and there'll be people on Twitter who are like, yeah, it's about time. Bet you they won't win 2, though.
There will also be the same fans going, I always liked Connor Brown. You know, I never said a bad word about him. But hey, say it all the time. Fan is short for fanatic. You get off your hot takes, your spicy takes in here. But continuing through the lineup, the one that we talked, it's Sam Gagner. He's going to be in there. I don't expect him to play a lot. Tyler, what do you think you're going to see from him tonight? An 8-point night? Yep, book it. You heard it here first.
7 to 9 minutes. Maybe a little bit of help on the PK. Maybe he gets those little 10-second shifts at the end of the second power play unit. Maybe a couple of shifts with Connor and Leon. I could maybe see like 2 or 3 if they're looking to play the matchups. They have an ozone face-off or something. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not expecting a lot. Yeah, nothing but good vibes.
I'm giggling right now at you and Tyler Mulick going back and forth in the chat. Tyler said, Mulick, meet me by the bike rack.
Because like
sandbox, baby.
Like just a player at a chance signed for $9 million to go 1 year deal that helps the Edmonton Oilers, and it only helps the Edmonton Oilers because of this bonus. So you can't screw him out of the bonus. Like, that's a very, I think it's a very easy thing to see.
You guys remember Taylor versus Tyler?
That's just,
How about Tyler versus Tyler?
Yeah, that's
Baby,
true.
little tie on tie violence going on in here. But once again, continuing, Woodcroft, he had quite the quote the other day.
oh my God. Oh, I'm so mad at the comments.
Well-
saying Brown had 5 million on the table is a projection. No facts behind that. I know he did. I am saying
you're getting
that.
my co-host rattled right now. I need you to lay off.
I
okay?
talk to people.
We got another 34 minutes on this thing. Tyler's gonna be at the game tonight too, so he's gonna get extra spicy.
I'm gonna need 4,000 beers.
You guys make us drink, okay? It's not us by choice. But as I said, Woodcroft had quite the quote, and he said, "Ernie is paying the price for the group that hasn't produced. We need more from our bottom five." That's quite the guilt-tripping quote right there, and I love every bit of it. I'm here for it. Tyler, what's your breakdown of that?
Well, I mean, hey, he took a stance earlier this year when he shot Evander Kane down to the third line, and it seemed to A, piss off Evander Kane, and B, wake him up.
Mm-hmm.
He's played his best hockey since then. So I think this is a little bit of a wake-up call to those three guys. Like, it's tough because the Oilers don't, or Jay Woodcroft, I should say, doesn't have the ability to flip it and healthy scratch someone and send a message that way, right? Because the Oilers are so tight against the cap. They're carrying the minimum number of players. Like, maybe when Janmark's back, you can start pulling that card a little bit, but all he has is his words with all of this. So this is him going as far as he can to call out those guys and say, if you don't start producing, more guys are going to lose their jobs.
Yep, that's fair. Nothing like putting the fear of God, okay? There's no better motivator than fear. Just looking in this chat right now, it's starting to get lit.
Listen, I'm not an insider, but I've gotten a couple things. We will never forget that 1 week run last year.
Fact.
Oilersnation Every Day broke like three things. We
Mhm.
broke Pulley getting scratched, the Heritage Classic jersey.
And I like how you say
There's something
Oilersnation
else.
every day because it was you. I guess your
Show,
name
team
is
effort,
on the
team
logo.
effort.
But hey, we broadcasted it together. I also like this from FICO in here. He said, "Guys, let Coach Aaron talk." Try to get my boys fired up, okay?
Yeah.
A little internal competition sometimes, though. It's always good for everybody. Just looking in here. So my last thing with Evander Kane, it's the polarizing player that he is. I'm guilty of this myself. He goes from whipping boy to absolute god level in this city. Really, it feels like every single week. I'm a part of it. I was one calling him out, saying I needed to see more from him. But his game, I feel like it's, as you see here, it's really starting to round into form. The sky's the limit for a guy like him when he's just, I feel like for him, it's when he's physically into it. Like when we saw those mic'd up clips of him at the Heritage Classic. Tyler, what are you staring at?
I'm just zoned out, man. I'm so fired up about this whole thing.
But when we see him get physical and those chirps in there, what's anybody going to do about it? I love that from Evander Kane. Do you think he's going to keep this hot play going, or are we going to see another dip soon-ish?
No, I mean, it's tough with him right now because last year it was very much a roller coaster. I know part of it was the injury, but last year was definitely a bit of a roller coaster. I hope he can find some consistency because he just has the ability to be such an important player. Like, it was 9 days ago, we were sitting here being like, oh, you have to play Kane with McDavid or Draisaitl because they can hide him a little bit and they can pull him along and they can pull that dead weight. Now we're sitting here talking about him as the main driver of the second line. Like, that spectrum is so wide. You compare it to Nuge, right? Where like when Nuge is humming, yeah, he's really good. Nuge is never so bad that you're like, God, detriment, dead weight. Zach Hyman the same way. When he's humming, it's great. When he's not, still working hard, it's fine. The difference between hot and cold for Evander Kane is just so great. And that's what makes it so frustrating when he's not there.
Yeah, but when he's hot, he's boiling hot, as you see it on your screen right here. Everybody in the chat is still debating whether or not you are an insider. I like Danger Swede. Danger Swede said, ON every day is Tyler's legal name. Sergeant Battle with a great point. Tyler has Thanksgiving with Frank. You can't get any closer to one of the best insiders than that. That's true. You're kind of an insider by proxy then. We have him on our show every week.
Yeah, we do have him on our show every week, and the connection's good when Frank joins our show as well. So
yeah, damn right. But okay, that's enough for the Edmonton Oilers lineup. Once again, they probably should be hitting the ice right now.
A couple minutes from now, we'll have the confirmed lineups.
Right, so we can get into the starting goaltenders matchup, which is presented by Montorio Homes. At Montorio Homes, you can build your dream home your way without breaking the bank. Work with a reputable and accredited home builder who believes your dream home should be affordable without compromising on quality or personalization. If I could afford a home, I would build one with Montorio Homes. Instead, I'm going to be sleeping in that 91,000 liter tank later tonight. But right now, you can visit any one of Montorio Homes show homes and enter your name to win some prizes. Visit Montorio Homes today at montorio.ca. And let's start building the home you've always envisioned. So as we all know, Jake Ottinger, absolute stud for the Dallas Stars.
He might win the Vezina this year.
He's so good, man. And like everybody knows he's that good. Look at those numbers to his season so far. 195 with a 939. My God, that would be nice. But guess what, Tyler? He's not in the other net tonight because the Dallas Stars were playing last night. And he got the front of the back-to-back. So it looks like we are going to be seeing Scott Wedgwood. We got a little story. Hey, there we go, baby. So there's our matchup tonight. It's Stuart Skinner versus Scott Wedgwood with Stuart Skinner. He had a good game last game. I say all the time, I just need a save percentage that starts with a 9. Well, boom, he did that at the Heritage Classic. You see on your screen, he has a 1-2-1 record with a 351 goals against average. An 863 save percentage. Hey, that save percentage used to live at 750. So bumping those numbers up, baby. We're getting a little bit better. While we look at Scott Wedgwood on the other side of the ice, he's played 2 games with a 1-1 record so far this year, a 354 GAA and an 889 save percentage. Hey, that looks like one of our Oilers Oiler goalies right there.
Very
He'd fit
similar
in
to
just
Stuart.
fine. He'd fit in just fine.
Yeah. I was trying to do the math just really quickly. What Stuart Skinner, how many stops he'd have to make tonight to get his save percentage back up to 900 in this one? I don't know, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say if Stu gets a shutout tonight, then his save percentage will be back to a 900. Knock on wood. Sorry. Scott Wedgwood, on the other hand, he's a career backup. He's capable of putting together some really good games. He had a 915 save percentage last year, 3 straight seasons with a save percentage above 900. He's a good goalie. Mm-hmm. But he's not a guy who's going to go out and single-handedly win the Dallas Stars this game. Granted, Casey DeSmith single-handedly won a game against the Oilers, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But if the Oilers are bringing it, and if the Oilers are playing their B+, A- game tonight, they should be able to pot a few past them.
I'm going to try and learn my lesson a little bit because the last time that we found out a backup goalie named Jonathan Quick was starting, I was sitting in this very chair. I was celebrating. I yelled the words, quote, "Let's light this blank up." So that did not go the way we wanted. Would I be surprised tonight if I saw Scott Wedgwood stop 49 of 50 shots, allow 1? No, but I do think with the Edmonton Oilers and the way they've been playing, I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to at least squeak a couple past them. Continue knocking on wood as I talk myself into a corner as I tried not to. But Stuart Skinner, we're going with Stu tonight. We talked about earlier today, is he the 1A, 1B? And Liam had a great point. He goes, I think he's just 1. I think Jack Campbell is 2. Where are you coming out on that, Ty?
Yeah, I think so. But at the same time, you play 14 times in November. Like, it's not going to be 12 starts Stu, 2 starts Jack. It's not even going to be 9-5. Like, it's probably going to be 8-6. So you look at the way the schedule lays out, I think you're definitely going with Stu tonight. It's 100% the right call. Saturday, it's without a doubt got to be Jack, right? You don't want to be giving Stu 4 straight games, have Jack sitting for that long. And then it's pretty easy to see how you could go against Vancouver. Stu, San Jose, very easy matchup. They suck. Go Jack there. Next Saturday, you're in Seattle, right back to Stu, and then see where the goalies are at there. But I think your next sort of 10 days of starts are pretty easily mapped out. Some easy choices for Jay Woodcroft.
That's perfect. You actually answered my next question. I was going to ask, how are you going to deploy your Oiler goaltenders? So if you're in the chat, let me know how you would go for the next 7 days. So it's Nashville on Saturday, Vancouver on Monday, and those pesky San Jose Sharks on Thursday. I kind of want Jack Campbell in net for that one. I want to get a little confidence booster for that one.
Why not?
Once again, am I getting too ahead of myself? Possibly, but I think I'd go Stu tonight. I think Campbell on Saturday, and then Stu against Vancouver on Monday, because that's a real matchup right now. And then Jack Campbell again on Thursday. So you're just kind of pinging back and forth. Let me know what you guys would do in the chat. I'm very curious to know. Holy cow, time just flies when we're doing the show, Tyler. It absolutely rips. So here, how about we get into the Dallas Stars lineup right now? And the Dallas Stars lineup, it's presented by Greta. And oh, baby, I haven't seen you guys since Sunday night when I did After Dark. Look, trust me, viewers, Greta on Sunday, it seemed like it was a Friday night in there and people didn't have to work the next day. It was bumping. There were Oil jerseys everywhere. There was Flames jerseys everywhere. I got a photo with 2 Flames fans who were wearing beer boxes on their heads for literally 2 straight hours. They just committed to the bit. You got to love that. So you're always going to get that kind of stuff at Greta. It's the best. I also highly recommend the pizza taquitos. But okay, Pat, can you bring it up for me? The Dallas Stars lineup tonight. As I see on the top line, we are looking at Jason Robertson, Rupe Hintz, and Joe Pavelski. My God, that is a sick first line. Fun fact, I have Robertson and Hintz on my fantasy team, but I already have a healthy lead right now, so I'm looking for donuts tonight, baby. Just continuing down, it's Jamie Benn, Wyatt Johnston, and Evgeny Dadonov. Oh my God, has that guy been in the news recently? Oh, is that? Oh, with the Stars not on his no trade?
Why is my name trending?
Oh, that old thing again. Third line of Mason Marchment, Matt Duchene, and Tyler Seguin. If this was 7 years ago, that would be the sickest third line ever known to man. Then,
oh man, yeah, like no kidding, hey. Throw that line together in like NHL 14, probably both like 92 overall. Sick.
I know. Then we continue down the line. It's Ty Dellandrea with who should be a fan favorite and is a personal fan favorite of me, Sam Steele, and Craig Smith. Fun fact for everybody out there, I used to go to elementary school with Sam Steele out at Fultonvale Elementary. We have actually been family friends for quite a long time. And the Sam Steeles have an excellent outdoor rink with the boards and everything. They even have the Anaheim Ducks old Zamboni.
Oh, really?
Out there, they got it. I don't know how they drove that or shipped that up here, but they got it. So shout out the Steele family. I love them a ton. Then looking on the D pairings, it's Ryan Suter with Miro Heiskanen. Then it's Thomas Harley with Yanni Hakanpää. You said that right. Yep. Then Esa Lindell with Nils Lundqvist. It's quite the squad when you're looking at it as a whole right there. Good. It's quite intimidating. I said that top line is so filthy. Jason Robertson hasn't really had the start that he would have wanted or I would have wanted as a fantasy manager, but I'm not doubting that guy in that line. They've got some crazy firepower.
Yep, they do. And it kind of bleeds through the entire lineup. I like the comment from Tyler Mulick. I'm going to try and make up with him a little bit here. He goes, Wyatt Johnston, weird. Isn't he basically a rookie? Why is he in a premier spot? I think this Dallas lineup is a great example to the Oilers in a couple of areas. One, yes, Wyatt Johnston, very young, very good, is put in a spot to succeed with skill players. I think that could work with a guy like Dylan Holloway. Also, Ty Dellandrea is also young. Where do they have him? On the fourth line. Why? Because that fourth line is going to generate offense and they're going to play a very fast brand of hockey. Ty Dellandrea could be your Raph Lavoie is kind of what I'm saying.
Yep. Hey, I agree with that. It was a big discussion today on Oilers Nation every day of this forward group versus our forward group. And the word depth really came out a lot. But as we just said, Wyatt Johnston, he's a name that jumps out to me on line number 2 there. Jamie Benn, still kicking. But our guest today said that Wyatt Johnston must not believe in a sophomore slump because he's off to a great start. He has 7 points in 8 games. When I see him on the second line, all I think is, man, I wish that was Dylan Holloway doing something like that. But hey, we don't live in that world, so we're going to stay in reality. But the third line, once again, the name value of that third line. Is Tyler Seguin still good?
No. God, no.
Thank you.
Probably one of the most overpaid players in the entire NHL at $9.5 some million. Good for maybe 40, 45 points.
He must just be enjoying being on the third line, living in Texas. I don't think they have state. Do they have state income tax there?
I have no idea.
Somebody let me know in the chat. Somebody Google that because that boy beats chilling poolside on his Instagram a lot.
Yeah. Okay, couple of things quickly before I jump out of here when it comes to this Dallas Stars team. They are very, very good at 5-on-5. They have not been outscored at 5v5 once yet this season. But if there's one area, because I'm a big fan of their blue line, but if there's one pairing that maybe Jay Woodcroft could exploit a little bit today in the matchup game, and our guest today on ON Everyday, Taylor Baird, told us about this.
Thank you.
It's Esa Lindell and Nils Lundqvist. That third pairing, they got hit hard against the Calgary Flames. They were outshot 8-3. Shot attempts were 16-5. Granted, the goals were 2-0, But they got bailed out by playing with some skill and Jake Ottinger being elite. I think the Oilers, if they can get McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice against both Lindell and Lundqvist, good things should happen.
Yep, okay, we're going to go fast here because Tyler has to go to the game. Don't worry, I'll still be here till puck drop. Don't worry, me and Pat are here. Miro Heiskanen, in my opinion, one of the best D-men in the league right now. Taylor Baird today, she said he can't be considered underrated anymore because he just is one of the best in the league, right?
He's probably the defenseman best equipped to shut down Connor McDavid. He's got the long reach. He's got the speed. Gap control's excellent. He moves the puck great, so there's rarely a moment where he's confident up and spending more time in his own end than he has to. He is in the elite of the elite. If you had to choose an NHL defenseman to start a franchise around, I mean, he is right up there. Dahlin, Fox, Hughes, Makar, Heiskanen.
Yeah, Pat, can you ban my brother or put him in timeout for a minute? He just put Belfour, all capitals. Matt, we don't have any of that in here. Me and Matt used to watch Eddie the Eagle and absolutely hate that guy. One last question I have for you, and I really want to get this one off because I was doing some numbers before the show today. Is Ryan Suter good or bad? I can't get my mind around this because I'm super confused. So the Wild bought him out, and they would rather pay $7 million this season, $7 million next season to not have him play for them. Then the Stars sign him for $3.6 million this year and next year. He's still getting paid. He's playing top pairing minutes with Miro Heiskanen. My mind's in a pretzel. I don't know what to think about this guy.
He was so bad for them in the playoffs last year. Like, he cannot keep up. But he gets to play with Heiskanen. So it kind of hides a lot of his deficiencies. I think most of the time he's positionally okay. He's got that hard-nosed veteran presence. He's not a top pairing D-man anymore. But paired with Heiskanen, he survives. Yeah, but that's fair. I feel like he's a guy who skates around with lead in his boots. Well, Tyler, I can't keep you any longer. I got one more thing I want to say, though. Tonight's going to be a big night for Connor McDavid. I can feel it in my bones. The chat was yapping earlier about what McDavid had done at this point last year. Last year, by November 2nd, Connor McDavid had already racked up 4 4-point nights and had 2 hat tricks. Pretty good. Pretty good from Connor McDavid.
Tonight's the night.
He's due. Big night coming for Connor.
Yep, exactly. So we want to let Tyler skirt out of here because he's got to be boots on the ground right now. So how about, Pat, can you throw up some Betway stats today? We don't have Gavin here with us right now, but he's here with us in spirit. So it's bet time for Betway. 19 plus, please play responsibly. See you, Ty. We look here with our stats for this evening's bets. Evander Kane. Evander Kane's been the talk of the town. He has picked up a point in 3 of his 4 games against the Dallas Stars. Kane has averaged 2.5 points per game over his last 3 games. He's been hot. We're all aware of it. Then we move along to Leon Draisaitl, who has hit 2 assists in a game in 3 of his last 4. He tends to be dishing a little bit right now. We know him as a goal scorer, but Dry can do it all. He is leading the Oilers in assists this season with 9, and he has 22 career points in 21 games against the Stars. Then the further we move along, the Oilers have beaten the Dallas Stars in 3 of their last 4 matchups. In each of those 3 wins, they have won by at least 3 goals. That's a nut stat right there for me. Throughout that 4-game span, they are outscoring the Dallas Stars 17-12. So without further ado, Patrick, it is time for Bordzy's Bankroll. There it is. And I threw these photos on here because I wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. So our first choice is Evander Kane with 1+ points. That is currently at -120. No, he is not Dobby. That is Jack Campbell, as he was flicking his nose, doing his little thing there. Our second option is Leon Draisaitl with 2+ assists. Does that say -150 right there? Yes, it does. Then our final one, it's the team from Hogwarts right there. It's the Edmonton Oilers as a whole on the puck line at +155. So, Pat, could you get a little poll going inside the chat for me right now? If you are new to Pregaming with Bordsy, we're going to create a little poll in the chat here, and we are going to vote together as a squad on which one of these bets we like the most. I left Sam Gagner, anytime goal scorer, off to the side because, duh, I'm betting that.
Yeah.
If I could bet Gagner 8-point night, I'd probably still sprinkle on that. That's the kind of guy I am. So, Pat, you get that going in the chat right now, and I'm going to catch up with some people in here right now. Oh, Paul. See, I knew the chat would have an answer for me. confirmed, no state income tax in Texas. So yes, Tyler Seguin is just absolutely living the dream right now.
100%.
The guy, he just got married recently, I believe, too. He's having a good time. I see Tyler Mulick. I think this is about Eddie Belfour. My buddy is a massive Stars fan, and he hates seeing him, always complains about him. Lots of stuff in here. Ace 96. Cup year for the Oilers. Sergeant Battle. It's a cup year. I love Pat. Just I keep saying it. The ups and downs of Oiler fans. Well, we're up right now, baby.
I know. You get a lot of heat for being so positive, but I love it. And it's just you got to take it when we're winning games. Granted, it was one.
Yep.
But when you win a big game like that, you just got to ride that. And the team rides it if we're riding it. You know what I mean?
I was explaining to Pat before the show here that since this is my 9th game hosting now, that I can tell that I'm starting to make an impact because I've got some haters now.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a guy who was commenting in the chat, commenting on the YouTube thing, and he DM'd me and he said, I'm way too positive and he doesn't like that. And I need to be more negative because the team needs that. I don't think the team's tuning in to Oilersnation After Dark. Or maybe they're pregame with BORDZY. Maybe they got it on the room right now. Boys, if you do, Evander Kane, let's go off tonight. Gags, good luck. So there's that aspect, but I'm just a positive guy, Pat. I don't want to get negative and I don't want to shit on my team, but it was a little touch and go there for a bit. If you missed the last After Dark, pretty much the topic of conversation was where's the panic button? Exactly. I threw that out the room, baby. That thing is gone. Don't worry, I still know where it is, but we're not going to be pulling that out tonight. So I see right now we've got 32 votes in the chat. Also, for people in the chat, should have brought this up earlier, we're currently at 45 likes. Try and bump those numbers up. Our goal all week is going to be 89. Last week it was 97 to will Connor McDavid back to health. Well, that worked, Patrick. So we're one for one with our like goals curing the Oilers. So let's try and get to 89. Maybe. Oh, I see Liam's in here. He said, let's get rolling here, people. There we go. Liam is the king of the like goal. So I really appreciate him being in here. Liam, let me know the over-under on pregame bananas. Probably not any. He told me when he left work today, he said, I'm going to go lay in my bed and go make some clips. So I hope he's still laying in bed watching the both of us, Patrick. Pat, you have any other Sherwood Ford Giant storylines for this evening?
I just think the main storyline today is just the Oilers in general. We've talked about how they had a bad start to the season, and the vibe with the team, with everyone, just seems to be high right now. And Dallas is going to be a good challenge for that. I also think, it is going to be the 5-on-5. As Tyler mentioned, they're very good 5-on-5. I've got the numbers here as well. Their special teams, they're not amazing. Their power play is 31st in the league at 8.7. Yeah,
that's
so
nuts. Their
power play, in theory, isn't going to do much tonight. And their PK is 3rd in the league at 92. So in their minds, our power play is not going to do much tonight. So I think 5-on-5 is the big storyline tonight. It's whether or not the Oilers can, find that extra edge, which Kane has seemed to found, Brown has seemed to found, and bring it tonight.
Yeah, I would go such a long way to see Connor Brown bury one tonight. It would just pipe down a lot of these haters out there, and it'd be great to see for the Lion. I think I've sprinkled on a Dylan Holloway goal every game that I could, so I'm really chasing the juice on that one. It's got to hit, right?
Eventually,
The gambler's fallacy of he's either ice cold and he won't do it, or he's so overdue that he's bound. He's going to get 2 tonight, right? So we got that. Just continuing with a couple housekeeping notes. I think that penalties are going to be a large thing for the Oilers. I know the Stars are at an 8% power play. You pull up that top 6 or what their power play will be. That is not an 8% team, and I don't want to be the team that wakes up a sleeping giant like that, because they've got some firepower galore on their Heiskanen quarterback in the power play. That doesn't sound very fun for me. I don't want to see that. And it's been a theme for the Edmonton Oilers this year with dumb penalties. I know we talked last on After Dark. I was very confused by the Leon Draisaitl penalty because where I was, I couldn't see he was still holding his stick.
Yeah.
I just thought he kicked it, and then they gave him a penalty. So I was freaking out upstairs or in the upper bowl. But that's going to be another storyline for me, staying out of the box. Or if you're going to the box, make sure you bring another guy with you. Okay, let's try and get some of that going on in there.
Looking at Evander for that one.
Yeah, I really am. Hey, maybe Vinny too. And he scored 2 goals in a row.
He very well could. I was really glad to see that he got that one. You could just see the excitement and just the monkey, the weight off his back. So yeah, maybe we get another one from him tonight.
Yep, that'd be pretty good. I see people in here talking about the Discord. The Discord is awesome. Those guys are such great supporters. I've been lacking with my Discord involvement. Just been way too busy doing too many shows. But Pat, as you know, I'm no longer doing Canucks conversation every day, so I don't have to hear about these Canucks any longer because I sure was getting sick of it. But Monday, I am going to hop on their show and defend Oilers Nation against those Canucks Army.
They miss you already?
I think a little bit, but I'm always giving it back to them, so they're probably not liking that right now. For continuing the housekeeping notes, for later tonight, I believe initially I was going to have Zach Laing for Oilers Nation After Dark. Yes, accredited Oilers Nation reporter Zach Laing, but I think he's a little under the weather. Everybody send him a couple tweets, get his health back together. So the bagged milk has stepped up, and he's going to be joining me tonight, baby.
Unreal.
You can always depend on bagged milk. That means there might not be a beat cast tonight, or we'll just do the beat cast on here. I gotta get the music on here. Actually,
Yeah.
we can just play it at a low volume for the entire show. Really bring it back. But the YouTube event for that one is already made. So as you know, people, I love coming into After Dark, checking the chat, and I can just scroll along in there, and it's like re-experiencing the game again. So that'll be a lot of fun. Just for some other stuff, we are working on some pretty stellar guests, and we're going to get more guests coming up for Pregame with BORDZY in the coming weeks here, especially when the Oilers take their Eastern road trip. I'm not going to give any spoilers, not going to give anything away, but we might have some names coming in, joining the BORDZY bros. I guess we'll have to get him to hashtag BORDZY bros, get that on themselves. But also, Monday, when we play the Canucks, we're going to be doing our first ever, well, I don't know if it's first ever for me, live watch along here at the office.
Right.
Lance, I know you keep asking if you can come watch a game at the office. The deal I'll give you is if you take me to Hawaii, you can come to the office and watch any game you want here. The fridge is full of beers. We can even maybe throw you on the couch. It's a fair deal in my opinion, buddy. This place is a vacation in here and that. But yeah, we're going to be doing a watch party. So we're going to be live on the Oilers Nation YouTube. We're going to do pre-gaming into the game. We'll be live for the game. Everybody here at the office. And then we're going to do After Dark. That game is at 8 o'clock too. So it's going to be a late one. So I could imagine there might be a few beverages rolling around in this office. Patrick, you and me? No, not us.
No,
never us.
After last Sunday, I may never touch one again, to be honest. But
yeah, my body hurt on Monday, dude. I was in pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're gonna be able to see Liam stuff 18 bananas down his gullet for anxiety relief. You get to hear Waz scream, "Derek Ryan!" live and in person at the top of his lungs. Kennedy swoon over Leon Draisaitl, or me and BM maybe have a nice glass of red wine. We'll see. Options are all over the table. Okay, looking at the votes right now, we've got an exact 50 in there, Patrick. So I think I'm going to end it here because I need to get my bet in. So we're going with Evander Kane 1+ point at -120. That honestly feels like a lock with the way he's been playing. He's been so dialed in. He's with that awesome line of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. I mean, you could see the blender coming out. I could even see him getting a couple shifts with Connor and Leon. But that's the one we're going to go with today. Just catching up with some more things going on in the sports world right now. There's football on, isn't there right now? Yeah, it would have started.
There should be. Yeah,
it would have started when we started this show, and it is it's a hell of a matchup. It is the Titans and Steelers, baby. I am not too concerned that I am missing that to do this show right now.
No.
It's kind of a blah matchup right there. I believe Kenny Pickett is playing, but Will Levis, Patrick, threw 4 touchdowns in his debut. 3 of them to DeAndre Hopkins. Who would have ever thought throwing deep to one of the best wide receivers in the game
actually works?
Would be a good idea.
Yeah, no kidding.
But here we are. Who do you got in that one? What's the score right now?
It's 7-3 Steelers right now. Yeah, I think the Steelers take this one for sure. But I don't see them getting too many more points, to be honest.
Go, Derrick Henry, go. He's a small
I
miniature
know.
horse out there,
I
and I
know.
want him going. Do you remember him on Thursday Night Football years ago
Mhm.
when he went for the 99-yard touchdown run against the Jags?
He's easily one of my favorite players to watch. It's been a little disappointing this year, but that happens, and that's football. But oh man, he's a tank. I love him.
He's the closest thing you could physically get to a human tank.
Honestly,
like he
yeah.
is when he used to do his hair in a little rat tail thing too. It was like gross, but definitely added to it. And so, as I said, there's football on. There's all kinds of NHL going on right now. There's even NBA. The Raptors are taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. They didn't beat them last game for the Nick Nurse revenge game. And to be honest, I'm not very confident for the Raptors. I was watching. You ever watch the Pat Bev podcast or any clips of that?
No, I don't think
Patrick?
so.
Well, as Patrick should be sporting
Yeah, I guess,
Patrick's.
hey?
So that's a little crazy. But he was talking
Whoops.
about how the Raptors are a bunch of fake dogs and that we don't actually have any dogs on the team. And it kind of hurt my soul because I genuinely agree with him. So that kind of sucks in that degree.
Sometimes the truth hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. Leafs Bruins tonight. I see you got a nice little rat tail here for my hair. Leafs Bruins should be a big one. I was led to believe that there was going to be no Milan Lucic tonight. So no Revo against Lucic fight that I think everybody wanted to see. So that kind of sucks. But Patty, I wanted to ask you,
Sure.
because you're a Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are taking on the Chiefs in Germany.
I know. It's one of those things. I'm excited. I've been excited for this game all year long. I kind of like that Casey didn't play well last weekend. So as a Dolphins fan, pretty excited about that. But as fun as it is to have the game in Germany, I have to get up early on a Sunday and kind of don't want to do that. Although, as you mentioned earlier, good point. It kind of gives you that extra few hours of football on the same day. So
Damn right.
at the end of the day, I'm pretty excited about that game.
Yep, Sunday's going to be a big one. I felt like last Sunday, because of the Heritage Classic and all the stuff going on, I didn't really get to watch a lot of football.
Mhm.
That was probably pretty good because I went 0 for 4 in fantasy, and I've never done that before. So I felt like it literally didn't even happen. But yeah, with football starting early this upcoming Sunday, they say if you're a red zone guy, you get 7.5 hours commercial-free football. Now you'll get 10.5 hours. It won't be commercial-free, but buddy, I'm going to have my ass grooved into my couch.
Oh, yeah.
I recently hooked up the double TV setup in my basement.
No way, really?
It's 265 inches, Pat, right next to each other. It's so bright
Yeah.
when all the lights are off and I'm just in there. It is the absolute best.
That's awesome.
Let me know in here who your football team is. I see Kyle. He remembers it. He said Henry had 3 touchdowns that game too. Yeah, I was playing against him that week. I remember that. It's Waz Bordsy. Get ready for your L in fantasy football. Waz, I'm in first place, brother. So you can bend the knee. Okay, you can bend the knee right there. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, it's Oilers Nation Waz from Oilers Nation. The biggest celebrity we have here at this company
100%.
is definitely Matt Wozniak. Where we got 3 minutes before puck drop. Hey, what do we hit for likes, Pat? What are we at?
Let's give it
59?
That's it?
That's it, people?
Come
Do you
on.
even want Sam Gagner to get 8 points tonight? I'm going to have to go from
We still
this.
have time.
Yeah, we still got time. I see Stealth just says Patriots. Hey, me too, big boy. I got my windbreaker right here. I know Lance was a big fan of my outfit today. I really looked back at the clip and I was like, wow, I do look like a divorced dad. Just trying to piece together what he could wear. It's been a long week, okay? It's been a long week. I see my brother in here said, bring on the witching hour.
Oh,
The witching hour is the best
it is.
possible thing. When you know that Scott Hansen is like getting to it and you're getting ready to go. People, if you're not a football fan, I think Red Zone will make you become a football fan.
Yeah.
I also saw Pat McAfee, I think this Sunday, is going to try and do Red Zone for college football at nighttime.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like,
Sign me up.
he's a host that I would watch do that.
Yeah.
For sure. He's a guy that I would go. Sergeant Battle said, tell Waz he's a beauty. Hey, I'll be sure to do that, but you can tell him yourself. You can tell him yourself. I know Waz's DMs are always open. Stealth said, I have the rings jersey and hat of the Patriots. Stealth, I have a signed James White. So, when we were in the Super Bowl down 28-3 and we won in overtime, James White crossing the plane, and it's signed by James White, says Super Bowl game-winning touchdown. One of my buddies got that for me for my birthday. I got him a $30 fake nude jersey.
I hate when that happens.
I was like, oh, thanks,
Whoops.
man. I guess I'll try and make up for that in later years. And I have not.
Oh,
I have
whoops.
not. He's actually a Bucks fan, so he inherited Tom Brady. So there's my present right there. So once again, we will be live on the Oilers Nation YouTube right after the game with the man Bag Milk. Patrick, you'll still be with me.
I
We
will.
got Kennedy out here in the office, and I'm going to order some food. Get it going. Get your bets in, people, and we will talk in just a bit. So for a final thank you to my sponsors, Sherwood Ford and Sherwood Ford Power Sports and Marine, then Betway, then Montorio Homes, then Greta Bar Yeg. Hey, couldn't get a ticket to the game tonight? There's still time. Get down to Greta. Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat. I appreciate you all. Good luck out there, and I'll talk after the game. See ya.